What if the person you welcomed with kindness was sent to end your life? In a land scarred by foreign lies and rising hope, one black president opens his heart to a stranger. But behind her eyes hides a secret that could bring down a nation. This is a story of power, betrayal, and a woman torn between duty and truth. What she does next will decide the fate of millions. The sun beat down fiercely on Zambora's dusty streets, but inside the air-conditioned presidential convoy, the world felt far removed. President Kwame Asante leaned against the car window, his mind on the important meeting ahead. Assistant, urgent but respectful. Your Excellency, we're already running late. The economic delegates are waiting. President Asante, calm, thoughtful, Narrator. The president nodded slowly, his eyes scanning the bustling roadside. That's when he saw her, a young white woman, tangled blonde hair, crouched beside torn cardboard, clothes dirty, lips dry, a rusty tin cup in front of her, eyes glassy, lost. President Asante, gentle, firm, stopped the car. Driver, startled. Sir. President Asante, warm yet unwavering. I said, stop. Tires hush. Murmurs ripple. Security fanned out instantly. The woman, Natasha, looked up, confused, then frightened. President Asante knelt beside her. President Asante, soft, caring. What's your name? Natasha, trembling. Natasha, I'm from America. President Asante, encouraging. What are you doing here, Natasha? She breathes, tears welling. Natasha, voice cracks. A man I met online told me he loved me, said to fly to Zambora. We'd start a new life together. 2 days later, I found out he was married. He laughed, kicked me out, stole my bag, my passport, everything. I've been on the streets ever since. President Asante, voice lowers, resolute. You trusted someone and were betrayed. I will not leave you here. Assistant, hushed, anxious. Sir, rent a hotel, arrange help. President Asante, gentle smile. No, she comes with us. It's too dangerous out here. Doors open. Guards help Natasha into a waiting car. Narrator. Later that day, after the meeting, President Asante returned home. He entered the guest room. Natasha on a soft sofa, eyes red. President Asante, reassuring. I told him to give you food and clothes. Natasha whispers, thank you. I don't want to return to America. My parents will blame me. I want to stay. I want to work. I can be useful. Assistant, crossed arms. That's not advisable, sir. President Asante, lower, reflective. Do you remember the white man who once saved my life? He didn't ask where I came from. He just helped. That's the man I choose to be. President Asante, to Natasha, you can stay. We'll find you something meaningful. We believe in second chances here. Natasha's heart aches. Inside her jacket, a tiny silver chip glints. Scene fades, warm kitchen sounds drift in. Narrator. For the first time in days, Natasha felt warm, safe. A knock. Yakuba, the president's assistant, eyes sharp. Yakuba, flat, cautious. Breakfast is ready. Come downstairs. Marble hallway. African art gleams. President Asante, bright, welcoming. Good morning, Natasha. Did you sleep well? Natasha. Yes, sir. Thank you. I don't know how to thank you enough. President Asante, gentle nod. Just eat. Regain your strength. She reaches for warm bread. President Asante, curious, kind. Would you like to share your story again? I want to understand, not just for myself, but for others. Zambora is a place where everyone deserves to be heard. Yakuba frowns but stays silent. Natasha, deep breath. Back in America, I was lonely. Lost my job after COVID. Spent days online. A man named Thomas messaged. Said he worked with the UN, lived here. Months of promises. I sold everything and came. Tears. Natasha, he was married. Kicked me out. Stole everything. I've been on the streets since. President Asante, soft, sorrowful. You were deceived, and your story is not new. But I promise, your life doesn't have to end in shame. Natasha, voice breaks. I want to work, be useful. Assistant, tense. Sir, security. President Asani, raises hand, calm. She stays. What skills do you have? Natasha, quick. Photography and a short course in public relations. President Asani, bright smile. Perfect. Our media team needs you. Honesty, please. Anything else I should know? Natasha, whispers. Nothing else. Just thank you. President Asani, you start tomorrow. Yakuba, cold. I'm watching you. Don't think I've forgotten what you could be. In her room, Natasha stares at the tiny silver chip. Hand shaking. Natasha whispers, I can't do this. Narrator. Weeks later, Derek, second agent, is captured. Natasha confesses everything. The president listens. President Asani, quiet, steady, then help us. You're not working for them. You're working with us. She nods, tears shining. Final scene. School compound. Children laughing. Natasha, to President Asani, do people like me really change? President Asante, warm, proud. Not everyone does, but the brave ones do, and you, Natasha, are the bravest of them all. Dear viewers, if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share with your friends, and turn on the notification bell, so you'll be first to know whenever we upload a new tale of hope. Narrator. A gentle breeze rustled the acacia trees behind the rebuilt Zambora Girls Science Center. Natasha, now wearing a flowing teal wrap and the soft smile of someone who sleeps without nightmares, stood at the podium, microphone in hand. Natasha, clear, heartfelt, welcome to the very first graduation of the Truth and Courage U Fellowship. Applause ripples. Phones rise to record. Natasha, 2 years ago, I arrived here with lies stitched into my coat lining. Today, those same stitches have been re-sewn into the hem of hope. She pauses. A child's giggle is heard. Natasha, brightening, each of you, 27 nations represented, has chosen curiosity over fear. That choice changes the world faster than any secret chip ever could. Audience, soft laughter, knowing nods. President Asani steps forward in a simple white baboo, palms open. President Asani, warm, teasing. Some presidents cut ribbons. I prefer cutting fear into confetti. Cheers. He turns to Natasha, voice gentler. President Asani, this center, once a crumbling storage room, now bears your name, the Natasha Hope Atelier. May every young woman who enters know that second chances are not fairy tales. They are policy. Natasha's eyes glisten. Natasha, soft to the president. I still wake up some nights wondering if forgiveness is real. President Asani, quiet, firm, then look around. Reality is wearing school uniforms and carrying telescopes. Camera pans. Children balance handmade drones on their heads, laughing. Suddenly, Yakuba appears at the edge of the crowd, earpiece glowing. Yakuba, low, urgent. Natasha, secure channel. We've intercepted chatter. A third operative, code name Orbit, entered last night. They're posing as a documentary filmmaker. Natasha's smile doesn't falter. She simply exhales. Natasha, calm, resolute. Of course they did. Every garden grows a weed or two. She turns to the children. Natasha, bright, playful. Who wants to learn how to spot a hidden lens before lunch? Children, excited chorus. Me. President Asante, chuckling. Looks like class is still in session. He gives Natasha a small nod, equal parts pride and warning. Cut to twilight. Rooftop of the residence. City lights shimmer below. Natasha and Yakuba stand shoulder to shoulder, scanning the horizon. Yakuba, grudging respect. You know, when I first met you, I pictured handcuffs. Natasha, grinning. Handcuffs are just bracelets with commitment issues. Both laugh, short but real. Yakuba softens. Whatever happens next, You're not the girl in the cardboard anymore. Natasha, quiet strength. No, I'm the woman who turned cardboard into a classroom roof. She lifts a small drone, painted sky blue. Natasha, orbit wants shadows. Let's give him floodlights. She launches a drone. Its tiny LED spells true fear across the darkening sky. Later that night, secure conference room. President Asante, Natasha, Yakuba, and a circle of trusted advisors gather around a glowing map. President Asante, gentle authority. Same rules. No disappearances, no shortcuts. We win in daylight. Natasha, firm. And when orbit finally shows his lens, we'll be ready with cameras of our own, streaming live. She taps a tablet. The wall screen lights up with a global live link titled Stories That Heal. Natasha, to the room, lies hate spotlights. Let's give them one they can't dim. Everyone nods. A quiet determination settles like dust after rain. Final montage, upbeat Afropop instrumental. Natasha teaching girls to solder circuit boards. President Asante dancing with village elders at a harvest festival. Yakuba discreetly escorting a handcuffed documentary filmmaker into a transparent, rights-respecting van. Children painting a mural. 2 clasped hands, 1 light, 1 dark, under the words we choose trust. Fade to black, gentle voiceover. Narrator. Some missions begin in darkness, but the bravest ones finish under a shared sunrise. From spy to sister, from target to teacher, this is Ambora, where every scar is a roadmap and every roadmap leads home. Screen fades to white with simple text. Text on screen. If this story spoke to you, share it with someone who needs a second chapter. Soft click of a share button. Music ends. Silence, then a single bird call. Night, rooftop of the presidential residence. A gentle wind carries the scent of frangipani. A single security floodlight cuts a silver cone across the tiles. Natasha, voice low, steady, into her earpiece. Ego one to nest. I have visual on subject, orbit. 3rd floor balcony, east wing. Black windbreaker. Telelens rig. No firearm visible yet. Click. Yakuba's voice crackles back. Yakuba, calm but urgent. Copy, Ego 1. Hold shadow. I'm 2 minutes out. Cut to inside corridor. Yakuba moves like a whisper. Shoes silent on marble. President Asante, stepping from the shadows, soft but firm. Remember Yakuba, transparent justice. No bruises we can't explain in daylight. Yakuba, half smile. Only the bright kind, Your Excellency. Back on the roof. Natasha edges forward, camera bag slung like a shield. Natasha, softly to herself. Okay, orbit, let's see whose story you're framing. She flips open a small mirror, catches the glint of a red recording light on orbit's lens, pointed straight at the president's private study window. Natasha into mic. He's live streaming. Encrypted channel. If we jam it, he'll bolt. If we don't, the feed reaches Langley in 43 seconds. Yakuba now beside the stairwell. Then we give him a better story to stream. Quick beat. Yakuba taps his watch. Twice. The floodlight dies. Sudden darkness. Orbit, startled whisper, American accent. What the... Soft rustle. Natasha steps forward, palms open, voice warm but firm. Natasha, Derek Lane warned me about you. Orbit, said you never sleep on rooftops without a parachute. Lose the camera. Let's talk. Orbit spins. His silhouette reveals a tiny drone on his shoulder, red eye blinking. Orbit, icy. Step back, Natasha. You're still listed compromised asset. I'm authorized to... Click. Yakuba's silhouette appears behind him, taser glinting. Yakuba gentle, almost friendly. Authorized to what? Take a selfie? Hand where the stars can see them. Drone buzzes upward, auto-evade mode. Natasha flicks her wrist. Her own drone rises, net launcher primed. Natasha with a grin. Mine's faster. Whoosh, tiny net engulfs Orbit's drone. Both devices spiral down into a waiting blanket held by two smiling schoolgirls on the lawn below. Girl 1, giggling. Madame Natasha caught another mosquito. Cut back to rooftop. Orbit's hands are zip-tied, soft restraints, padded. President Asani, voice drifting up from the garden, warm and amused. Bring our guest downstairs. The kitchen made ginger tea decaf, so his hands won't shake during the interview. Later, library, low lamplight. Orbit sits opposite President Asani, Natasha beside him. A single camera, state-run live, records everything. President Asani, leaning forward, fatherly, your name for the record? Orbit, after a long beat. Julian Pierce, freelance contractor, tasked to discredit your leadership via stage scandal. Natasha, softly, and the real client? Julian sighs defeated. Let's just say people who hate gardens that grow without permission. President Asani smiles, turns a camera. Then let's replant this story together. He gestures. The screen behind lights up, not with secrets, but with footage of children painting that mural. We choose trust. President Asani to the world. Every lie exposed is a seed of truth, watered with transparency, and the whole continent blooms. Cut to morning, press lawn. Reporters applaud as Julian is escorted, not in chains, but under open guard, to a waiting vehicle marked Independent Truth Commission. Reporter shouting over cheers. President Asani, will there be retaliation? President Asani laughing gently. Only the retaliation of kindness. Mr. Pierce will help rebuild the very school he came to smear. Cameras will follow his ours and yours. Natasha steps to the mic, eyes shining. Natasha, clear, steady. To every young woman told she's too broken to matter, look up. The sky is full of second chances, and they spell your name. Children release blue and white balloons. The sky answers with sunrise. She came as a threat, but stayed as a protector. In a world built on division, she chose unity. In a system that trained her to destroy, she learned to rebuild. Her story reminds us, even in the darkest moments, redemption is possible. And sometimes, the strongest warriors are the ones who dare to change.